how hard it would be to make a 5 years Apple user giving up using iPhone and switch to another brand just for paired with his car. Well, in order to pair with my car, I have switched my iPhone to MEIZU 21 Pro. So is it worth to do that? Let's talk about it. Well, first of all, the phone has a very unique design. The white body looks super clean, beautiful, and exquisite from a distance. But once you get closer, things get a little embarrassing, because that looks like a lot of Samsung. Hands on it, it feels very boxy. No fat and huge camera module. The edge fits my palm very well, and the slender body allows my thumb to reach wider range. It's so friendly for daily use.
"打开微信，我快到了哟，你到路边等我哦。"
Park your car and leave. The parking information will be automatically sent to your phone. After dating, drive her home, everything is under control. Wait a minute, these scenarios are actually not going to happen because the 21 Pro doesn't have UWB, which a lot of features are depending on. So the real situation on 21 Pro is that you will lost your direction in the parking lot without any information on your phone. Honestly speaking, I don't understand why they removed it since it was so good on 20 Pro. Fortunately, there's nothing removed from FlymeLink. It has a software layout that is exactly the same as on phone, so you can quickly find the app you want on the screen. Or you can just speak to the system.
打开小宇宙。
收到，打开小宇宙。
The app opens as a floating window at the top. It can be dragged freely on the screen. Of course, some video apps can be displayed in full screen. Watching a match you missed last night in your car, or even playing some games if you really want. Cities which has complex terrain like where I'm living, land-level navigation is necessary, but it is not available on this car. Luckily, it can be achieved by using FlymeLink. More accurate locating and navigation information is so helpful to the rookies like me. The biggest use of FlymeLink is to make up the lag for app lineup and the logging and updating in a closed-car system. But of course, FlymeLink is not perfect. For example, the low resolution of navigation, the lane information cannot be synchronized to the HUD, the phone notification will not be displayed on car screen, and the mute bag when playing voice message. In the meantime, I'd like to see an update which allows sending messages directly by voice, because that will be much safer when driving. I see a big potential in FlymeLink, only needs just some time to improve, and I can't wait to see more convenient functions to come. But we still need to ask, is it fundamentally a good phone? This is also my first time using Flyme. Lots of features were new to me. Clean, smooth, and humanized is my first impression about it. It is clean that you barely see any ads in the system without too many bothering built-in apps. It has been always smooth no matter how I operate on the screen. The ultrasonic wide area fingerprint recognition reacts fast and smooth too, even when your finger is wet. It's a shame that we don't see these on other much expensive flagship phones. When using Flyme, it gives me an illusion that it knows what you're doing. You will easily understand that when you see this shortcut. This little circle pumps out and makes things easier for me in lots of scenarios. From my experience, Whether the app will be displaying in floating window is determined by the system. When an access permission is needed, you don't have to open the setting but just get it down through the floating window. When there's something you want to share, just send it by the floating window too. As well as login account. In chatting app, the freaking contacts will be lined up in a row, which would help a lot. Whether you want to display or hide it, the window is always so easy to operate. And a lot of FlymeLink features were triggered by accident. For example, when you can't find the app, this is a faster way than swiping up and typing for search, isn't it? But back to the reality, these features are no longer new. What makes it unique is its associative ability that always finds out the best way to help you out. I wasn't impressed by just one or two features, but countless details that built up the great using experience. I used to criticize the crazy camera competition nowadays, but the MEIZU sims don't care about the shooting capability at all on 21 Pro. 1x ultra wide lens, Howell OV50H CMOS, this isn't a bad configuration. Technically, it should be about the same level as the Xiaomi 14. But most photos of a 21 Pro result in high shadows and low dynamic contrast. It is lack of texture too. If it was 3 or 4 years ago when the brightness was the only standard of judging a photo, then I would think this is a good tuning. But now, a lot of aspects will be concerned when talking about a good photo. So the shooting capability on 21 Pro, I will say that's pretty unsatisfying. As for the 2x lens, let's leave alone the toning and the colors for a while, but just looking at the quality of the picture, it's already too mushy to look at. Especially when shooting something with complex environment, such as woods, the picture quality drops dramatically. In a simple, clean environment, things get better. And the 3x is not much better either. If you ask me, I think it would be better to get rid of this extra lens and just focus on making a good single camera phone. People won't mind it because it's a budget phone anyway. The 21 Pro is covered by a nice white body with a simple frosted back panel. It looks just great. The ads-free system remains as clean as the body, making it easy to use. The floating window thinks what you think and does what's really helpful. The system offers excellent using experience. In comparison, the shooting capability is the opposite. If we ignore its image system, the 21 Pro has almost no shortcomings compared to the other flagship phones. Instead, there were a lot of things that stood out to me. Extra large vibration motor offers better interaction. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor ensures gaming performance. Ultrasonic fingerprint unlocking, you will fall in love with it once you have tried it. So, if we need to choose one from these two phones, I don't see why pick 21 Pro, especially if I want to have more compatibility with the car. With a more than $200 price difference, they are providing just the same system experience. But the 21 Pro removed the UWB unreasonably. That is a much more important feature than chip when pairing with your car. And it will be more confusing that if attracting car owners to buy MEIZU phones, what's their purpose? As a $900 phone, we can only give 4 out of 10 in terms of cost performance. So, is it worth buying? I suggest you to go for 20 Pro or keep waiting until the price of a 21 Pro drops. At last, MEIZU 21 Pro TESTV gives 6.5 subjective overall score.